Hey guys, welcome back again from Tampa Bay on a beautiful Friday the 13th afternoon. I'm going to put this one up fairly early because I've got a bunch of other videos already in queue. I'm on my way down to demo an Oculus Rift. For those of you that don't know or aren't into PC gaming, it is pretty much the benchmark standard for virtual reality. Not just goggles, but it's a whole experience, built-in audio and all that kind of good stuff, and motion controllers. I've wanted one of these things since I first heard about it years ago, and then they got bought by Facebook probably about a year and a half ago, and man, I'll tell you what, people's hearts sank because, well, we knew it just wouldn't be as cool as it probably would have been otherwise, but they finally came out with it. They were up for pre-order earlier this year, and the expected price was supposed to be $250, $300 tops. Well, this sucker came out at $600. Now, if it had been $250, $300, I would have pre-ordered it sight unseen. Absolutely, I wanted it in my grubby little fingers as soon as possible. But for $600, no thanks. I can get a lot of entertainment for $600. And this better absolutely wow me if it's going to even try to pry $600 out of my wallet. You know what I'm talking about? So what they're doing is they're going around the country, and it got posted, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, where Oculus Rift was doing these demos at a very select Best Buy locations. And the nearest one, there were only 4 in Florida, and the nearest one here was about an hour away from me. So you had to book an appointment online, and I'm not kidding. The article went up, and an hour later they were sold out, the booking appointments. They're only doing about a dozen a day per store, and I got one of the last ones. This is the last weekend for it here. It's been going all week. So I am taking advantage of my slot. I just want to experience it, and it's supposed to be a pretty cool demo. And what I'll do, obviously I can't show you guys the demo, but I can let you know exactly what I think about it after it's done, because I know there are a lot of people out there that really want to know about it. I've got a ton of questions. I wear eyeglasses. They're not especially strong, but I do need them. So I want to know, can glasses fit in it? I don't think they can. Other than that, can they correct for imperfect vision? Especially for me, I have astigmatism. So it's not just a matter of setting a diopter, although I don't have any problem with any of my cameras. So, you know, that's the level of vision correction I need, but I have no idea. You know, we're talking about some little computer monitors an inch away from your eyes, not looking through a lens. So I don't know. Just got a lot of questions. I want to know how it feels. I want to know, is it convincing? You know, I've seen all the cool and hilarious videos on YouTube of people trying it and falling out of their chairs just because their brain is tricked into thinking they're going off a cliff or over a roller coaster hump or, you know, whatever. I want to experience that. And this demo is supposed to have a lot of really cool stuff, and it's a nice long demo. It's not just putting on the goggles and, okay, here's a minute of a movie or something. The details of it said they take you through about 10 minutes of orientation, and then the rest is just going through everything they've got available. Now, there aren't a lot of titles right now that really support it. There's a couple cheesy, I call them just demoware, stuff that you would never buy on your own, but it's supposed to really show you how the VR works well. I don't think mainstream game titles, AAA companies, are going to be making anything for VR for, I would guess, 2 to 3 years. Right now, I think the dominant one is the Gear from Samsung, because they had an awesome giveaway, basically. Earlier this year, if you bought select phones, you could choose either their free watch or the free Gear Gear VR goggles. And I know a lot of people that got those free goggles. And apparently they're very nice, but totally different than the Oculus. Those are basically like the Google Cardboard. You take your large smartphone and you put it in a holder and you wear that on your head in front of your eyes. Not at all what an Oculus is by any stretch of the imagination. So, I mean, if that's doing well, and it's doing well because it's dirt cheap, that's why it got out there. Who knows? I mean, maybe the public will start to become acclimated to VR. That's what it not only has to have that happen, but it needs a killer app. It needs one thing that makes people say, I have to have that, and I have to have VR to get that. It's like when computers first started coming out. It was a very slow start. For a decade, nobody really cared about having a computer. Well, in business, the killer app was a spreadsheet. Boom, all of a sudden, you could make and save a ton of money if you could have an electronic spreadsheet. Just think about that. I mean, for those of you that are millennials, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But without spreadsheets, you had a lot of paper pushing and a lot of wasted time. And that sold companies at the very beginning on getting personal computers on people's desks in offices. And there were other similar things, other similar killer apps for getting them at home. But that's what VR needs. Right now, there isn't one. Like I said, there's just a few demo software packages out there, and it's cool, I'm sure, but nothing that makes people say, I have to buy that. That is a game changer, and I'm going to get it. So until that happens, VR is kind of up in the air. And that's why for $600, I tell you what, it better do something absolutely incredible to make me even consider buying it at $600. $300 is out of most people's range for it. I'm just a big gaming geek, and I love tech, and I love the new stuff coming out, so I wouldn't have any problem dropping $300 on it. That wouldn't make me think twice. But we'll see. Anyway, I've got quite a ride to get down there. Hopefully there's no huge pileup or anything on the freeway, because I am kind of cutting it short. My appointment's at 1, so I've got about 45 minutes left. And I will have a report as soon as I get out of there, and I'll clip it into the end of this video and let you know what I think. I'll tell you what the demo was, and I'll kind of review the Oculus itself from my perspective, so if anyone's kind of on the fence, you can watch this and hopefully get a better idea. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. Let me tell you all about it. First impressions. Wow. Parts of it, absolutely beyond my expectations. Parts of it, not. Am I going to buy one right now? Absolutely not. It's nowhere near worth $600 to me right now, and that's not even with their wireless controllers that aren't quite out yet. I would still pay $300 for it right now, but no, absolutely not worth $600. So first of all, the demo is a lot shorter than they say online. It was, well, you can see the time. 15 minutes, not an hour. The guy was sitting there. First of all, the guy was kind of a dick. He did not want to be there, and he did not make eye contact with me once during the entire thing until the very end. He was always just staring off, I have no idea where I'm going, into the distance, going through his script. Very rude. Oh man, don't tell me there's no outlet. I thought there was an outlet. He thought so too, I bet. Okay, so you get in there. He takes you through 2 types of demos, and by the way, not at all as described. As far as the demos, you go through some very short, basically training things. Didn't show me any games. I have no idea how they expect to sell anything when they don't show you the freaking games. I specifically wanted to play Valkyrie, which is a launch title. It's a space shooter. It's an awesome game on its own, but with the VR, it's supposed to be just out of this world. They were showing it on the screen, but they don't let you demo it. dumb. So what they do first is they take you through what they call worlds. And I think he called it Discovery. He was also kind of muttering. I didn't understand everything he said. But you go through these 2-minute demo worlds where you just stand there and you look around and you experience different types of things. Oh my God. Blew me away how absolutely 100% realistic these are looking at objects. For example, the one that absolutely blew me away was you were basically looking at like a little model city, like a model railroad setup, you know, and they're usually on a table, and you've got little tiny houses and all that kind of stuff, right? Or think of it as SimCity in 3D. So you're standing in this basically room, and you're looking at the table in front of you. And you've got all the little houses. It's all animated. It's all in motion. It's just like you were a giant looking down at a little town. There's a house on fire. There's a helicopter. And you can move around and move in just like it was a real table sitting right in front of you. You can look in the little windows, literally like you're looking at something real right in front of you. It was very weird not seeing my hands or my feet, because I would reach out to touch something and, you know, obviously there's nothing there, but you don't even see a representation of your hands, at least not yet. That might be coming later. But it absolutely 100% real. Didn't matter how close you got to something, it just got more detailed. Now here is the huge drawback, and what absolutely says no way is it worth it to me, at least in this first generation. Very low resolution. I am a resolution snob. I game at 1440p. That is simply my minimum standard. I hate seeing pixels. 1080p to me on a monitor in front of me is horrible. I just can't stand seeing dots and pixels. And as convincing as the world is in this thing, you see pixels everywhere. It is not high enough. I mean, if you're used to, say, looking at your phone, right, and you see the icons and everything looks smooth, you don't see pixels. Nothing like that. And I have to think that all the ones where you strap the phone on your face are even worse, because you're splitting that screen in half, one for each eye, so there's half the resolution of the screen. And the Oculus has 2 separate high-resolution monitors, one for each eye, and it still has pixels. So when I was looking at the demos like that, anything that was a solid surface or more on the cartoony side, man, they just popped out. It was completely obvious that you were looking at a low resolution screen. So that was not good. If that had been high resolution, 300 DPI or more, oh my God, I would be spending $600 right now. But so they went through that, and there were a couple other little demo worlds like that. One where you're looking down a hallway, and it's kind of like Jurassic Park, where this Tyrannosaurus walks over you. Equally convincing. I could feel, I actually tried to reach up with my hand and touch it. Just absolutely stunningly real. Nothing like a 3D movie, if you think that's what I'm talking about, where that fake effect of things coming at you. No. I'm talking about everything. 3D. The depth is 100% real. 100%. Absolutely amazing. And then the last demo after these little world things was a rock climbing demo, and that used an Xbox controller, which I'm not familiar with. I don't console game, and I didn't enjoy that one much at all. It was a technology demo, but it did have some interactivity. It did have a very good sense of looking up and down, because you were climbing up a cliff, so you could look down, and I did get that little tingle feeling, you know, like when you step over to an edge of a building or something and you're looking down. It was convincing that way, but again, low resolution and very arcade gamey. I do not like arcade games. This was one where you have to use the left and right triggers on the controller to place these virtual hands, but they were floating hands. They didn't have arms. They didn't look like they were you. It was more like playing a Nintendo Wii, let me put it that way. And I'm just not into games like that at all, so it didn't impress me. And it was more of just remembering how to press the buttons than being in a VR world. So I wouldn't pay a dime for anything like that. But I really wanted to see that space game. Anyway, that's how I feel about it right now. I will definitely be waiting until either the price drops in half, which I doubt it will, but you never know, maybe around Christmas, or they come out with the next generation and they add a lot more resolution. That would be worth it to me. Oh, and as far as glasses, yes, it did fit over my glasses. There was a very small sweet spot of proper focus, but they fit without any problem. I don't know if I would wear them for more than a couple hours, but they did fit. And I wear very wide glasses, so nobody should have a problem with normal sized eyeglasses inside the Oculus Rift. So don't worry about that. It fit over my face fine. The audio is perfectly fine. Everything lined up okay. So if they fit me, believe me, they're going to fit just about anybody. So there you go. Hope that helps somebody if you're kind of on the fence. Definitely see if you can get a demo. I don't know if they have any spots left. They don't around here, but you never know. I asked him, when can you buy it? And he said, well, they sold out in 10 minutes for the launch day, and Best Buy stores are going to be the only ones carrying it right now in store, and you just have to call them every day to see if they got a shipment and show up. Other than that, you have to buy it online and wait, and you never know when it's going to come. So if you are interested, hit up Best Buy and talk to them, see what you can do. That's it, guys. Got a little bit of a ride home. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.